Every single day, over 50,000 people start a YouTube channel, and I am one of them. 8 years ago, I posted 2 videos focused on workouts at my home gym, and I posted another 2 videos, vlog style, of my life in Los Angeles. Like most YouTube creators, I gave up. Let's be real, there's nothing natural about talking to your camera lens, your phone, whatever it may be, with a huge light shining at you. I'm in my apartment where I'm just talking to myself. But one thing that I've learned is that the more you do this, I wouldn't say easier it gets, but you get more comfortable. The first 2 or 3 times that I did this, I was very nervous, even though there was nobody watching me. I felt like I could be judged, even though there was nobody around to do that. My assumption is 10 videos down the line, 20, 50, 100, hopefully 500 videos down the line, it's gonna get that much easier. That said, I'll probably never be fully comfortable in front of the camera, but ever since sunsetting that YouTube channel, I've still always had the itch to talk about the things that I enjoy. So that's what brings me to this channel. My first 4 videos were all focused on career growth and personal growth, just advice for people that are looking to advance to a new level in their career. I've done hours and hours and hours of editing, finding the best way to get my point across and help people. But my next few videos are probably going to be about starting a YouTube channel in 2025. The reason I want to do this is not because there's a lack of content out there on starting a YouTube channel, but this is 2025. Social media changes every time you turn the corner. There's always new things going on. There's always new best practices. There's new adjustments to the algorithm. And starting a YouTube channel in 2025 is not the same as it was two years ago, 3 years ago, maybe even 1 year ago. So for anybody that's considering starting a new YouTube channel, I want to be here to help you. I'm consolidating a lot of what I've learned through watching other YouTubers and the videos about starting a channel, but also just what I've experienced. I'm only a few videos in. I got a lot of the tips and tricks that I brought into this from some of the people that have been doing this for 10 years or more, and I've been doing it for a month. While I don't have the knowledge that they do about how YouTube works, I do have impactful knowledge about what it's like to start a channel right now. And that's something that can differentiate me from all of those other channels that I get information from. They've been doing this for a while. I'm brand new. And if you're watching this, you're thinking about starting a YouTube channel, you will also be brand new. So let's do this together. So an interesting fact that I learned was that there's 63 million content creators on YouTube. So that said, you have to be unique in order to get attention. And what I've learned very quickly is that regardless of the quality of your content, the length, the topic, you have to have good packaging. That's your title and your thumbnail first and foremost, and then everything else that comes after that, video quality, audio quality, SEO, B-roll, editing, all of those things. Like, of course, you want to get better at those, but nobody is going to click your video if you don't have good packaging. So to me, if you're going to learn something and spend time somewhere before you start a channel, I wouldn't do it learning the most comprehensive editing software. I would not do it learning how to have the best audio and video quality. I would focus your time on learning how to create effective title and thumbnails. So how do you do this? So I do my research. I look at SEO terms around specific topics that I know I want to talk about. I try to find ways in which people are searching for those topics already, right? So an example of this is my last video, which was focused on job hopping. So I have a lot of personal knowledge about this topic, but what I didn't have was the terms that people are using to search for it on platforms such as Google and YouTube. So what I did is I went into Google, I typed in job hopping, and then I saw all of the most popular searches that included that phrase. Job hopping in your 20s, job hopping in your 30s, how to avoid being labeled a job hopper. One that came up a lot was, does job hopping look bad on my resume? So that's how I determined how I was going to title my video. Now I play around with a lot of different versions, fit to my channel aesthetic, and also just make sure that it captures attention. You put a little bit of a shock or ways to grab attention as people are scrolling through hundreds of thousands of videos on their phone or their TV. That's what you want to look for, a way to take that commonly searched phrase and give some emotion without being clickbaity. The second piece is the thumbnail. So my thumbnails have definitely gotten better, even in just 4 videos. My first thumbnail was terrible. As a picture of me sitting here with headphones on and I think pointing up at a phrase. I've already updated the thumbnail for that video now that I've gotten a little bit better at it, but I was taking kind of lazy thumbnails. That said, I realized pretty quickly that does not work. Nobody knows who I am, so it just being mainly me is not going to grab their attention. And when you're in a sea of other videos, you need something that's going to stand out. So you want to use colors that are attention grabbing. If you're going to use multiple colors, you want to do ones that are complementary. You want to have graphics and big letters that people can easily see on their phone as they're scrolling through, and the thumbnails are super small. So those are all things I've learned so far. So if you look at my last couple thumbnails now, now, there's a huge letters behind me or huge letters, next to me as I'm pointing to them. And there's usually a color behind them that makes them pop more, or the words themselves are in some sort of color or 3D effect that grabs attention, right? The other thing that I've not seen a lot of channels talk about, but I feel like they all mostly use, is complementary aspects in their thumbnail. So what I mean by this, if you look at my last thumbnail, I have, career killer in big bold letters, got red behind it, which evokes emotion. But I also added a few elements that kind of gave it a little bit more uniqueness, which was a garbage can full of resumes, a resume with an X through it. I originally had a picture of the emoji that's looking up in the air, but then my face is also kind of doing that, so I removed that. There's a bunch of other things happening there, so I try to make people wonder, does job hopping really kill your career? Or maybe I need to find out, right? And so if they were thinking about that topic or interested in that topic at all, my goal with the thumbnail is to create curiosity and show them that they're going to get value out of that video by answering that question. So one of the things I enjoyed most about the last time I started a YouTube channel back 8 years ago was the editing. I love that creative process. I love being able to take raw footage and make it interesting and add graphics and speed it up or slow it down or add audio. That's probably the thing I miss the most. So when I started filming for this channel, I was really looking forward to it. That said, I haven't edited anything outside of on my iPhone in over 8 years. I know there's a ton of great softwares out there, but I am not someone who knows how to use Final Cut Pro, DaVinci Resolve, Premiere Pro, or whatever else is out there. So I went directly to the easiest version of editing software I could think of at the time, which was CapCut. I had also previously used iMovie with the old channel. So I kind of bounced between those two depending on which feature I want to use, which is not efficient by any means, but it works for me so far. Eventually, my goal is to probably take a course or watch a long, training video on something like a Final Cut Pro so I can just do everything in one place. So I don't have to bounce back and forth between CapCut and iMovie and Glean and other softwares that I'm experimenting with. But what I'm trying to get across here is you can start with the most basic software out there. CapCut is not something I would recommend only because it's not reliable. There's no telling what's going to happen with that, along with TikTok. For now, I think if you have it downloaded, you can use it. My first video actually got locked up in CapCut whenever they banned it the first time around, so it was a little bit of a panic moment. So I do not recommend necessarily starting there if you have it already, but try iMovie. Super simplistic, super easy. You can download B-roll clips and throw them right in there. You can, add music very easily. You can chop up clips and change speeds and transitions and so on. So iMovie is great if you're just starting out and you're not tech inclined. The second thing I'll say about editing is that you want to keep it simple in what you're doing throughout the video. So if you look back at my first video, which is about how to get promoted in 2025, I think I probably put a GIF up on the screen about every 10 to 15 seconds at certain points throughout the video. My reasoning for that was I was trying to create humor in the video. I was trying to keep it light. I was trying to show my personality, because you're talking about something about getting a promotion. It's kind of hard to show your personality and, the funny side of yourself. There's probably a little bit more seamless ways to intertwine those things throughout that type of video. But that said, the next video, I definitely did less of that. Maybe still a little bit too much. The video after that, I got better, a little bit less. I got things transitioned a little bit smoother. You're supposed to keep videos moving as quickly as possible, but still capture the audience's attention. So cut out your filler words, cut out all of the pauses. But I will say editing should be fun. It takes a lot of time, regardless of how efficient you get at it. It's probably always going to take hours, especially if you take a lot of pride in what your videos look like, which you should. So I would say try to make it fun, try to enjoy the process, throw on some good music, and make it something that you actually enjoy if you can, because I certainly have. So let's talk about YouTube promotions for a second. So this is not something that a lot of channels tell you to experiment with as a new YouTuber. I'm a tester. I like to test all of the tools that are available at my disposal. So something that I have done with this channel in order to get faster feedback on the quality of the content, how interesting the videos are, is to leverage YouTube promotions. So a couple of my videos, the one on how to get promoted and the one on personal development, have both been used on YouTube promotions. I pushed both of those videos out there with about $10 of ad spend on each. They had dramatically different results. Part of that could have been topic. Part of that was probably the quality of the video, because people were watching for longer on one video than the other. If you look at my channel, you'll see one of my videos has dramatically more views than the rest. That is the video that did really well on promotions. And so it's interesting because you see the different dynamics of who YouTube is putting your content in front of. And one of the biggest challenges when you're just starting out as a YouTuber is people watching your videos. It's very difficult to get feedback from the audience if no one is watching. So I tested with those 2 videos and tried to see what is working best. What can I learn from this? I don't plan to do this on every video, and I certainly don't plan to continue doing it with those 2 videos, but it has taught me a lot. The YouTube Studio analytics are great. So what's next for this channel? I think I'm still figuring it out. I've done 4 videos in one niche. I'm going to test out this niche for a little bit about creating a new YouTube channel in 2025 and hopefully share some valuable information and experiences that I've gained along the way and will continue to learn with people like yourself and figure out which content ultimately resonates the best. I may never pick one niche. I'll probably continue to talk about the things that I enjoy, whether that's career growth and personal development, or if it's moving across the country and living in different cities. But what I do know is I'm going to have fun with it. My goal is to make this a long-term thing, but life happens, right? What I will say is I am having a lot of fun so far. I get excited every time I'm editing and I get to see the final product. When you hit that upload button, you're going to get that dopamine rush for sure. But ultimately, what's important to me is that I'm helping people. I do enjoy seeing comments. I do enjoy when people share the video with a friend because they feel like it was useful for them. So if you're thinking about starting a YouTube channel in 2025, drop a note in the comments. I would love to hear why you haven't done it already. You know, what hurdles are you facing? What's holding you back? And let's figure it out together. And if you want to see what I learned next and the experiences that I'm going through as a new YouTuber, I'll be sharing more behind the scenes and lessons learned along the way, both the good and the bad. So thanks for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.